Good afternoon, World Wide Web. Another video on AMC Entertainment. This is an article from August 23rd of 2022. AMC authorized 1 billion new APE units last week. Each unit is equivalent to one AMC common share. Last Friday, AMC issued about 517 million of these preferred shares to its shareholders as a dividend. So he actually gave away half of these shares. He gave half of them out to AMC shareholders as dividends last August. So does everybody have a few of these things? I guess every share got one of these things. I guess maybe that was a nice day. We'll call it feeding the sheep before the slaughter. Trying to make everybody a little favorable to this APE offering. He just went ahead and did $1 billion and gave half of them away as presents to its shareholders. Isn't that nice? Oh, it was kind of nice. But he also got approval to issue 5 billion of them, not 1 billion of them. So he still can fire off another 4 billion of them to raise money. So yeah, the one that he gave you as a dividend is going to be worth, God, I don't even know, 75% less than it is now, is what I'm guessing, as he fires off another $2, $3, $4 billion worth of APEs to flush that thing out, to give him the money to pay off all of his debt, to bring his balance sheet right side up. He needs $4 billion. This is how he's going to get it. This was feeding the sheep before the slaughter. This was giving a man on death row his last meal. I don't know why he did this. Maybe his little guilt trip, or maybe win some favor with these people. But yeah, he gave everybody a little Christmas present last August. That was nice of him. His end game isn't nice, though. I hope everybody's paying attention. Watch my last couple of videos. It's just interesting to get to go look back at all the little nuggets of gratuity and goodwill and good faith, and everybody thinks we're done now with 1.4 billion outstanding shares in our universe between the two that are getting clacked together. Everybody thinks that's the number. And no, he can fire off 4 billion more, whatever he wants. All he has to do is desire to pay off his company's debt and write his balance sheet. He didn't do that yet. If he'd already done that, I'd say it wasn't going to happen. I'd say, oh, he doesn't need to, mess with his balance sheet. He badly needs to mess with his balance sheet. His balance sheet is what's screwing the business and keeping it upside down all the time. He needs to shave 3 or 4 billion off of that immediately. And he can't dilute AMC shares, but he can dilute APE shares. He's also allowed to dilute APE shares. So yeah, massive destruction coming well after earnings call. He's going to enjoy earnings with everybody else. He's hoping to see a short squeeze. He knows the real numbers. He knows they did like $1.5 billion and hit the black, even with their train wreck of a balance sheet. He knows what he just pulled off. He went out with a hurrah right here. He's definitely looking really good for a little while. And everyone's going to get pissed off at the dilution of APE, and then the clacking together of the two companies. If it's approved, it's going to immediately tell every AMC common shareholder that their shit has now been diluted by 3 or 4 again. Not just the 1.4 billion, but now they're going to be like a 4 billion dilution. And now you're going to go, oh shit, and sell your AMC. Yeah, this is going to happen. It's their only method of raising money. They don't have credit. They don't have cash. They need to lower their balance sheet. They need to pay off their debt. That's the whole reason for this entire exercise, was to have something to dilute. He's already done $1 billion. The man's got to do a couple billion more. And what's that going to mean for APE? I don't know. You tell me. What happens when they triple the number of apes? Does ape go down? Yeah. What happens when they quadruple it? What happens to AMC when they quadruple ape or triple ape? Yep. I think we all see where this is going, followed by a 10-to-1, bringing you back to the same spot you're at today with 1/10 of the number of shares that you're at today. That's the plan. I am working out a method to play this. I'm trying to do some put options. I'm doing some experimentation. I'm expecting the price of AMC to go up, and up through earnings. And my options for the puts are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper every day. So I bought just a couple of puts, little cheap ones, and they're going to become cheaper and cheaper and cheaper every day as this thing goes up. So the more this thing goes up, the more options I'm going to have for the put options. And I'm going to ride it right down through the dilution, through the crash. This will be after earnings. I recommend everybody to lose your APE shares immediately and hang on to your AMC as long as you want, but be aware once you see APE fall to shit, you're next. And the court date's going to have to finish first. So enjoy these last days of riding up a happy AMC. Hopefully they'll get you till the end of the quarter. I think he really wants to see this quarter. I think he wants to see a short squeeze himself. He's getting a chuckle off of these people. And yeah, like I said earlier, he's a narcissist. He definitely wants to watch. AMC, though, this is where it's going. The further dilution of APE, followed by the clacking together with AMC. We're not clacking 1.4 billion shares. We're clacking like 3 or 4 billion shares. It's going to make a big difference on AMC and APE stock price immediately, and then the 10-to-1 or the 1-to-10 is going to follow it. So there will be a bloodbath after earnings, after the short squeeze is over, or if there is none, or we'll see what happens on earnings. But after that, get out of your AMCs for a few weeks and wait until this company has decided what company it's going to be. You don't want to be there on Armageddon Day. He does want to pay off that debt, and that is coming. It's coming after the Judge Claxer gavel. Sometime after that, he doesn't have to wait for it. He can just fire $4 billion in there whenever he feels like it, and say, "Hey, apes, here's another $2 billion." Ha! And he shoves, $3 billion in his pocket to pay off some of their debt. And APEs are like, "Oh shit, we're only worth 75 cents," and then he might have to grill them one more time. Who knows? And right after he's done grilling them, he's going to clack us together. But we're going to feel it the whole time he's grilling them. Day one of grilling them, yeah, you're going to see AMC's share price not doing so well also. So enjoy your last good earnings season, definitely. And then the next one's going to be great also because it's going to be a new company. It's going to have the new balance sheets. It's going to have everything being right side up. It's going to be having an easily manageable profit target for the quarter. It's going to be like $1 billion or $1.1 billion we'll have to hit to break into the black. Right now it's $1.3 billion to break into the black. That's going to make a real big difference on how often we break into the black. AMC theaters, just keeping everybody updated on what's going on, and some old news. Yeah, it's funny that he gave away half of all of these shares to shareholders as a dividend. I wonder if they're still holding on to them, or whether they sold them off, or whether hopefully they cashed them out. They probably would have gotten more money. But if you're hanging on to it still, I don't know. Think about the end game of these APEs. Think about this need to raise more money, and think about how many options he has to raise more money. He can't dilute AMCs. He can dilute APEs. But he can clack them together right afterwards, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So which ones, I don't want to hold either one of them when he gets ready to do all this crap. So I'm going to do put options all the way up, and then after earnings, when he dilutes, the whole thing comes down, and then all my winnings are going right into AMC stock at the new price. And then I will be an AMC stockholder a whole lot bigger than I was before, hopefully. Hopefully the put options can really rule the day. I feel really strongly about where this is going. I think it's quite obvious. I think the more you look at it, the more obvious you get. I know there's so many people out there with different versions of this story. You know, watch your AMC, it's going to go nuts, and this is going to be great. And you know, just last week, you guys have watched me change 100% over. I still say this earning's awesome, but I got to take back. I'm not going to take down my old videos. I'm going to let them serve as a record of stupidity. Um, I completely misconstrued his desire, his need to get another $4 billion, and hadn't really figured out where that $4 billion was coming from. You know, I'm looking at APE shares as depositor shares. I'm thinking there's money somewhere. You know, like, oh, when he gets these shares, that's when he gets all his money. No, he just sells these shares. He's had the money. He spent the money. He kept the company alive with the money. He paid off some debt with the money. He raised his cash supply with the money. Um, yeah, that money's gone. That money did as much as it could do, and it's all on his books. It's his cash. It's his lower debt. It's his getting through. That's where that money went so far. Hopefully not bonuses, but does he need more? Yeah, he does. He really does. He needs 3 or 4 billion more, or this thing just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a very sustainable business. If he lowers his nut, he's got to lower the debt. He's got to get rid of the variable debt, probably like an emergency style. I'm going to do more research on how much variable they have. It'll just show us how much of an emergency this is. Um, yeah, we'll do that video tonight. How much variable debt does AMC have? I think that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, probably. But anyhow, AMC, everybody, enjoy your earnings season, and keep your eyes on the APEs. And when this Judge clacks her gavel, anything goes. But I do think he's a narcissist and wants to watch his earnings short squeeze, and he knows he did 1.5 billion last quarter, and he wants to watch all of us in surprise and watch all of his minions go crazy on his stock price. And what a great time to sell his APE shares. He could sell that into a short squeeze because they hadn't even converted yet. So as AMC spikes upwards, APE follows, more money. And he issued 416 million at first, APEs, and then he issued another 600 million. That doesn't mean he sold those other 600 million. He might be sitting on those 600 million. He might be sitting on 300 million of them. He might be sitting on a bunch of them. If APE goes short squeeze crazy, he could just turn those in or sell them. He could just sell them onto the market at the ridiculous prices and make even more money. So maybe he's kind of setting up a big win, a big short squeeze. He's going to do everything on the books to make this thing shine. Anything he can do to make this thing shine, put it on the last quarter, do it a little shady bookkeeping wise, whatever he can do, he's going to do. He's going to make this quarter shine. He wants this thing to boom. He's got 2 billion APEs he needs to get rid of. And what a way to do it into a booming market. And he might already have 600 million in his pocket or 300 million, somewhere around there. I don't know if he spent them already or sold them off, but we know he was issued them. So I don't know. There you go. My thoughts on AMC again. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Please like my channel and subscribe for further updates on the AMC drama coming your way. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.